Okay, guys, this is a topic that I've actually had on my mind for probably the last 6 years now. I haven't really talked about it before because usually most people I was watching never really started taking part in this, so to say. But lately, with a lot of channels that I've watched for a long time, they've started doing stuff related to this stuff here that I want to talk about. Okay, and it's been kind of a problem, so to say, if that's the right term you want to use. But anyway, it obviously has to do with the use of Patreon and, making money on your YouTube videos. Now, I just want to have a full disclosure here to start. Making money on YouTube, there's nothing wrong with that. Using Patreon, there is nothing wrong with that. However, the way I have seen a lot of channels use it is where I start to have a problem with it. The way they've gone about trying to use it, trying to push it in some cases, that's the issue I'm having here, and I'll explain. When people start using Patreon, for example, okay, the one thing that they always state when they start using it is that it's optional, and they say that you can donate anywhere from, we'll throw out a number, $1 to $100, and that's perfectly fine. Then, let's say, I don't know, 20 videos later, all of a sudden they actually start complaining about how, people haven't donated as much and or some other monetary thing like that. And I'm just like, hold on a second. Some videos ago, you said yourself that this thing was completely optional and you didn't have to do it. So why are you complaining about it all of a sudden? And, mind you, some of these channels I had watched for a number of years. Now, all of a sudden, this one thing is changing how they're uploading. So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What are you doing differently that's causing this now? So, all right. So with that put there, two common things that these channels kind of say is, the first one they tell you is, I can't continue to give you content without it. I'm like, well, that's interesting because you had made content for many months, in some cases many years, okay, with no such thing. It really hasn't, aside from maybe video quality because of newer cameras, hasn't really changed that much in this certain number of years. And now all of a sudden, because you set this thing up, if you're not getting anything from it, now you can't make content? I'm like, what? What were you doing all that time without it? How is it all of a sudden now that, you've been able to make this content for all this time, now all of a sudden because of something, I don't know what, now you're saying that, oh, without this Patreon, nope, I can't give you guys content anymore, your loss. I'm like, really? How does that even work? The second reason that they like to give you is that, this video equipment that I get is extremely expensive. Okay, now, of course, buying video equipment isn't free, okay? It costs some money. But people seem to get this idea that you got to have the highest video quality, no, let me say that again, highest top-of-the-line video equipment possible to make your videos. When in reality, you seriously don't, okay? I mean, what am I using to make this video right now? I'm using the built-in webcam on my iMac and the internal microphone. I mean, can you guys see me okay? Looks to me like you can. And can you guys hear me okay? I'm pretty sure you can. So, hey, guess what? The video is fine. Doesn't need all this fancy stuff, okay? I don't need this, $200 to $300 huge microphone just to look fancy. No, what I'm doing right now, you guys can hear me just fine. You can see me just fine. So, guess what? It's fine. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, buy expensive equipment, fine. But, it's not your subscribers' fault for that. And that's the other thing I want to talk about, okay, is that this is one main point I got to make here, okay? YouTube owes you nothing. Your subscribers owe you nothing. And that very much applies to me as well. YouTube doesn't owe me anything. My subscribers don't owe me anything. And people always seem to kind of be surprised when monetary things don't work out as well. I also want to say I'll talk about my channel too in the second part of this video, just so I can get full disclosure here, okay? People complain about when monetary things don't work out properly. Well, I gotta tell you guys something, all right? I used to regularly watch videos from the Archfiend, okay? You probably have heard of him before, maybe seen some of his videos. He doesn't really upload that much anymore because, you know, he's now married and he has a son, so he probably has more important things to do with his time. But that's just a guess on my part. But anyway, I watched a video that he made back in 2013 when YouTube rolled out the content ID system. Well, actually, it was a few months before that, but same point, regardless. He stressed very strongly that making money on the internet is a very volatile thing, okay? And that having an internet income from YouTube is a very unproven, sustainable monetary gain. He made that video just about 6 years ago now, and considering the way things have been going on here, I'd say that's still very much true. I mean, you know, look what goes on left and right. So, you know, people got to realize that, you know, if you want to get some kind of money from YouTube, fine. But you got to realize it's a very high-risk gamble. Other things people don't seem to realize is that, you know, you wouldn't have a channel without subscribers, all right? And blaming your subscribers for your monetary problems, that is probably one of the worst things you can do. I'm serious, because, you know, people don't seem to realize that, like I said, yeah, again, you wouldn't have a channel without subscribers. And, you know, people are subscribed to your channel because maybe they know you in person or they enjoy the content that you upload. Now, what was I going to say there? Yeah. They are willing to take time out of their day to watch the stuff that you upload, whether it be a 5-minute video or a 45-minute video. They are more than willing to take time out of their day to see what you have to offer. And, you know, your subscribers are not obligated to be subscribed to your channel. And that applies to me as well. You know, I mean, they are doing it because they want to, not because they have to. And if you start, you know, doing stuff like that towards them, there is nothing stopping them from, you know, simply hitting unsubscribe and moving on with their life. And a lot of people don't seem to realize that. You know, and like I said, blaming your subscribers is probably one of the worst things you can do, because if you start doing that, they'll very likely, like I said, unsubscribe and move on from your channel. Now, what do I want to say here? Yeah. And here's a couple of other things that I have problems with, okay? Sponsored videos. A lot of sponsored videos I have seen have been junk. I'm just going to say that's flat off the bat, whatever the word is, okay? For example, there's again, I'm not going to give names in some instances, but there's a car repair person, okay? I watched his videos a lot since, I think, maybe 2012, and I'd say roughly around, oh God, what was it, 2013, 2014? He made a sponsored video of, actually he did two that really stuck out to me. He did one of Pennzoil, you know, your engine oil, and one of some product that cleans carbon deposits out of your engine. I can't remember the name of the product. Now, the one problem I had with the Pennzoil video was because in every camera shot that he either had the thing in view, hanging from a car, nonetheless, okay, and like putting it in view all the time. And it wasn't a video that he normally does. I'm like, okay, this is not you. This is not what you normally do. And the other sponsored video that he did, okay, he about the product that cleans carbon deposits out of your engine. He basically said, hey, this product is great. Use it. It cleans your engine. And yeah, the video wasn't that short, but that's basically what it came down to. All he did was he just said, this product is great. Use it. Buy it. And I'm like, he didn't show what it did, how it worked, okay? And that video got a lot of dislikes, unsurprisingly so, because, you know, that's kind of like, again, going against your subscribers. It's like, you just showed us a product and you didn't show us how it worked. Like, since when do you do stuff like that, you know? So one sponsored video that I was okay with was, since this is a positive instance, I'll just mention the name here. Chris Fix, the guy who does stuff with cars. I don't know if he works on cars for a living, but I know he does a lot of stuff with cars. And he had a video that was sponsored by Pennzoil, but what he did in his video was he actually showed how to change your engine oil. He was using Pennzoil, of course, but he actually showed how you change your engine oil. I'm more or less okay with that because he's actually showing you what you have to do. Even though his video is being supported by a company, he's actually showing what the steps you have to do. And, I'm more or less okay with that because he isn't just saying, hey, this product is great, use it. No, he's showing you steps that you have to take. But that's just a minority. The majority of sponsored videos that I have seen on this website, okay, they are just like, they're so scripted, they're fake. I mean, they're as legit as reality TV, which means that they're not, okay? It was like the most, again, scripted thing I have seen, and I'm just like this is pathetic. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not what you normally do, and you haven't done stuff like this for years. Now all of a sudden you're making this huge change. And speaking of Patreon and, ad revenue, whatever, okay? The one thing I despise people doing on here, okay, is monetizing or putting a Patreon link in a video that's about something terrible, like a tragedy, okay? Whether it could be you lose someone, you lose a pet, and they monetize that video. I have no respect for that whatsoever, okay? That is ridiculous. On this channel, okay, I have, a number of videos such as, Stripes and Whiskers, my grandparents, Lady, last year. I never monetize those videos because they're about a terrible thing. And I'm like, I'm not going to make money off the death of my pets or my family in that case, okay? That's a terrible thing to do. But some people think it's not a big deal. I think it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I have no respect for something like that. That is just the wrong thing to do by far. And, one example I can kind of see, a Patreon thing being okay is, let's say, for example, I don't know, someone you watch a lot of videos of, like I mentioned before, like they lose someone, they lose a close friend, they lose someone in their family. Yeah, that's a terrible thing to happen. That's happened, in my life more than once. Now, if they set up that, or let's say a GoFundMe, maybe they wanted to give money to their friend because of like a funeral cost, or like maybe it has to do with something on their end. Yeah, I can understand that. If they're doing it because, it's because of something like that, and, they didn't help with like funeral costs or something, yeah, that's reasonable. I can understand something like that, but just for the sake of you got to give this to us in order for me to upload more videos, no, I don't support that. I'm sorry, okay? That is just not the kind of thing that I would be willing to do, okay? And, so then people really seem to show their true colors when, let me move this here a little bit. There we go. When, the monetary stuff happens. Like I mentioned before, blame subscribers, this and that, but, other people are more reasonable about it. And, I'm the kind of person where if I saw someone have monetary problems, on YouTube, I'm not the kind of person that would laugh at them and tell them, ha, you failed, okay, go get a different job now. No, I don't condone that at all. But, my sympathy is pretty limited in that regard. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, but, it wasn't a good idea to solely rely on this in the first place. That's how I would be with them. I wouldn't laugh at them and say, ha, you failed. No, I wouldn't do that. But, I would just tell them that, this is, this was a risk that could happen. And, I'm sorry it happened to you, but it did. And I guess, one other example I can give of monetary stuff I'd be willing to help with is, I have a friend who I've known since December of 2014, and we both used to live on Long Island. And I'd say, I think a month or two after I moved to Connecticut, he moved to Florida. And just recently, or maybe like, 2 months ago roughly, he was looking to rent an apartment, and he was asking friends, if they could, possibly supply a little bit of money for, I believe it was for his down payment, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, you know what, sure, I've known you for, by this point, I've known you for, over 4, no, wait, oh my God. Yeah, just over 4 years, not quite 5 years yet. And, I know you're a good friend, sure. So, I gave him the money, and he was able to get the apartment, and he said, and he'll pay me back. And I was like, sure, I know you're good for it, just pay me back when you can. So those are some examples of reasonable things that I can understand. One point I did miss here was that one other thing people mentioned about their videos, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I forgot, so sorry I'm bringing it up now, is that, they mentioned about all the editing they put into the videos, and I'm just like, maybe you don't have to edit as much. A lot of my videos, they take me maybe, if at most, 10 minutes to edit, and then that's it, they're up. Some videos, if they're just one whole clip, I just upload the raw video file. I'm like, this doesn't need any editing, it's one clip, I'll just throw it on there. But now that I'm getting to that, let me talk about my channel, and let me explain to you how my stance is on everything here. Give me a second. Sorry for that noise. Okay, so, let's see. All right, so, I've been uploading videos on this channel now since 2007. Now, I never became part of the partnership program until April. No, well, it opened in April of 2012 to anybody, but I didn't register with it until either May or June of that year. Now, a lot of videos I uploaded, okay, it took time for them to get, a decent amount of views because, my channel was just starting off for the most part. But I managed to upload videos that, just luckily enough, had some of an audience. The first video I uploaded on this channel was the pin setter, and that got a decent amount of views for the time. And then there was also when my friend Zach and I did the toy slot machine, and then when I uploaded the washer videos especially, that had a huge following that I never realized that, at the time they would have. So one way I can certainly tell you that I didn't do all this for the money is that from 2007 until June of 2012, I wasn't part of the partnership program. And, I uploaded several washer videos within that time period because they had a big audience. I was like, wow, people really watch these videos. Okay, let me upload some more. If the washer videos I did in 2009 got next to no views, I probably would have ended it there. But no, people actually enjoy watching them, so I uploaded more. I uploaded more of the 1990 Whirlpool, the permanent press cycle. Remember that? The video where I talked about the direct drive and the belt drive, the newer belt drive, things like that. Okay, so 2012 rolls around, and in April, they open up the program to anybody. So I let it go by for a month, and then I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, yeah, maybe this could be kind of cool. Maybe it could be a interesting thing to try. Because at that time in 2012, I had maybe 90 subscribers and 200 to 300,000 overall views, and that wasn't much. So I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm going to be making bananas at this point, but as time goes on and I upload more videos, if it's still around, okay, maybe it'll build up. And I just want to stress that my content did not change ever since I became part of the partnership program. I kept my content the same way I do today. It is simply me and my own stuff, and that is it. Now, and one example I can give you that big editing doesn't always get you the most views is that the video I mentioned of the Whirlpool, let me phrase that now. When I did the video of the 2010 Whirlpool in March of 2011, that video was merely this mini DV camera on a tripod looking at a machine doing its whole cycle. And that's still my most watched video on this channel. It has 470-something thousand views at this point. So, that video wasn't even edited at all. What took the longest time with that video was importing it, because with the mini DV camera, I had to do real-time video importing. There was no SD card on that camera. And, another example I can give is like, when my videos weren't where other videos weren't that popular, was my Route 110 videos. When I first started doing those videos in 2012, I was lucky if those videos got one comment, really. And I'm like, I was kind of bummed by it, but I was like, no, just keep going. As you do more and more, people will probably eventually catch on. And eventually they did. And some of them did get a few comments here and there. So it was a fun thing to do. So, and one of the things I love on this channel, all right, is the fact that when I upload some stuff, my subscribers genuinely like coming back to see what I have to offer. And the case in point is, like, when I first made the videos on this house, when I first made the videos on the Speed Queens, or the biggest example actually is when I make the videos of the backyard updates in the cabana. I've gotten so many comments of people saying, like, hey, how's the cabana doing? Hey, how's the backyard? Has it been updated recently? And I love that. I love the fact that people are actually happy to see those kinds of videos. It has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with the fact that people are happy to see me upload these videos, and I am happy to supply them for you. Every subscriber is going to be different, okay? Some subscribers probably, when they see a backyard update video, they'll be like, oh, awesome, it's been updated. Let's see what's happened since last time. And in the same case, they may see this Speed Queen / washer video, and they're like, oh, yeah, this isn't really my thing. I'll just pass on this for now. And that's perfectly fine. Some subscribers like other videos more than others. That's just how it works, like, all around. You know what I'm saying? And, I gotta be honest here. If YouTube stopped paying me tomorrow, okay, I would keep uploading. Because my satisfaction on here is knowing that people like what I upload. And that is what satisfies me. Is it nice or convenient? No, I shouldn't even say convenient. Is it kind of cool to have that little monetary thing? Yes, it is. But I gotta tell you guys something here, okay? I don't live off any YouTube money, okay? I will never live off any YouTube money, okay? The money that pays my bills comes from my job. And here's another case in point. Like a regular 9-to-5, like people say, okay? The job I worked back on Long Island, I started in January of 2012, okay? I worked there for 5.5 years, which is a nice amount of time. And I left on good terms because I moved to Connecticut. So the job that I got here was because of the job I had on Long Island, okay? It could have been some personal traits here and there too, but the reason why I got that job here was because of the job I had on Long Island. If I just had on my resume, oh, I make just a bunch of videos on the internet, okay? He would take a look at that and say, well, what else did you do? Actually, no, you know what? That wouldn't happen at all, because I probably wouldn't have even been called for an interview. You know what I'm saying? So the work I do outside of the internet is what, one, pays my bills, and two, it allows me to add things to my resume. So that's the point I'm trying to make. People can lose jobs here and there, but again, you have something else on your resume, and I'm working in an area that's nowhere near as high risk as getting money from YouTube or just making videos. Well, I shouldn't say making videos. Making money from the internet in general. Where I am working, that sector is nowhere near as high risk as this. And like one other example I can probably give, or maybe two examples, is, with that job that I have, okay, the two biggest expenses that I had last year, best I can remember, is when I had the timing belt and water pump done on my car, and when I bought this new iMac. You probably saw videos on both of those. And, if I didn't have that job, I wouldn't have got either of those done, because I'd be like, I need the money back to pay for this, and this isn't going to cut it. So when I got that job and I was making that money, I'm like, okay, I can do this now. Let's get it done. And I got it done, and everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? That's the main point I'm trying to get across here. So before I get to my last thing here, I want to give you an example of, I had mentioned earlier in this video that, blaming your subscribers for your monetary problems is the worst thing you can do. Well, let me give you an example of something here, okay? That same car person, okay, in sometime last year, I believe he voluntarily left his multi-channel network. Channel networks I thought were dumb to start with, but that's another story for another time. He left his channel network, so of course he had to wait for to get YouTube's regular partnership program to get his monetization again. And within that time frame, I actually went to his channel to see an older video of his that I remembered and I enjoyed watching. Now, the first thing I noticed was when I went to his channel, his videos weren't available. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, did something happen? Did he have like a TOS problem? Is his channel locked down? But then I saw a post by him in Facebook when I was still on Facebook. And here's what he did. He said that because he currently wasn't making any money, because he was kind of in limbo, he locked out all his videos from anyone to see. That has to be probably one of the biggest slap on the face of any of your subscribers that enjoy your channel, okay? Because you're penalizing them for something that they had absolutely nothing to do with. That is such a jerk move to do. I came very close to unsubscribing from him after he did that because that was just ridiculous. But what kind of stopped me was, I think roughly 2 days later, he made another post saying that he realized, or I think it was a separate video, but regardless, he posted something saying that he realized that that's the wrong thing to do, and he opened all of them back up. Now, while it is certainly possible that he genuinely did that because you know, he felt that way, I think it's also because that he got a ton of backlash for doing such a thing. I can't prove that, but based on the other replies I was seeing to those posts, I think that was part of the problem. So, you know, guys, here's the end-all tell-all, if I said that right, of everything, okay? And you can say, and you can put this as a Sharky, you know, a Sharky quote, you know, Sharky 2019, okay? This channel will never be about the money, okay? It never will be. I upload these videos, one, because I want to, not because I have to, and two, you guys keep coming back, and that is why I keep uploading for you. Like I said, if YouTube stopped paying me tomorrow, I would keep uploading. I wouldn't just stop uploading and penalize you guys like that. I would never do such a thing, okay? I upload these videos because I want to, and you guys keep coming back, and that is awesome. I absolutely love it. And I especially love, like, for example, let's just to throw out two videos for example, my video of working on the agitator dogs and washing my shark plushies, you know, the ones back there. I've gotten so many comments on those videos of people telling me, like, you know, hey, this worked out great. You saved me so much money. Thank you so much. And that is just a great feeling that I'm actually helping people either clean their stuff or fix their washing machine. That is just great. Case in point, I had two comments on my washer, on the agitator dog video. One guy, I think he said he was 68 years old, and another guy who said he was a veteran. And when I helped both those kinds of people, I was like, that is awesome. I'm glad to hear. Glad your machine's working again. That is awesome. So there you guys have it, okay? Like I said, this channel will never be about the money. I make these videos because they're fun, and I do it for you. And I am more than happy to. I've been doing that since 2007, and it will continue that way. So there you guys have it. And I got to say, you know, again, if you want to use Patreon, that's fine. But if you start doing things such as blaming your subscribers, stopping your content, or paywalling your content, you know what? At the end of the day, it's your channel. You do what you want. But like the investors over in Shark Tank say, I'm out. And don't be surprised if other people follow the same path that I do. Thank you very much for watching, and donate to my Patreon. Haha, just kidding. Take care.